Good day, folks. Thanks for stopping by. So no big projects on the schedule today. I'm kind of taking a lazy day today. It's a pretty nice day. It's probably about 28 degrees Fahrenheit. So what's that? A few degrees below 0 Celsius. So it's kind of a nice day to hang around in the barn, get a couple of minor things done. One thing I wanted to do is I got this idea from Noel at Noel's Garden Tractors in Firewood, and he had a video a while back, a week or two ago. He was talking about days of old and years of heavy snow and big snowstorms of the past. And we don't seem to get those anymore, at least the last few years. So we'll touch on that topic a little bit, and then I'm going to go to some stickers that I have. So I'm going to be doing my very first sticker shout out and sticker placement on a board, brand new board behind me. So this has taken about 3 years in the making. No sense in rushing this. But I'm finally getting around to putting some stickers on the board, and I've exchanged a few stickers in the last few weeks. So we'll get to that in a minute. It's been 3 years, so I think we can wait another minute or two on that. So getting back to Noel's video, he had discussed snow in the past and how much snow he had gotten in previous years, and how his father had worked plowing snow and be gone for days at a time. And that got me thinking about winters of our past. Now, typically what we've gotten here in New Hampshire, most winters are have been somewhere around 120 inches of snow in the year. We've had as much as, I think it was 170 or 180 inches of snow, and that was about 15 years ago. We haven't seen that kind of snow, especially in the last 3 or 4 years. There's only probably 12 to 18 inches of snow on the ground right now, and we've gotten most of that in the last few weeks. And the last few winters have been pretty much the same, just a little bit of snow here and there. But I'll post a picture, or a few pictures of photographs I took in prior years with, I'll post those around here now. Some of the snow amounts that we had around the property here in the past. There's a big difference. So you'll see in these videos that I basically cleared paths through the snow with my snowblower. I didn't have my tractor at the time. I just had my walk-behind snowblower, so I had to clear paths. You'll see on some of the videos that the snow is piled up almost to the eaves of the house. And that's not even the worst that we've had. We've had winters where the snow was right up to the eaves, and I had to go out and shovel snow away from the windows so that we could get air and sunlight in, and we had ways to escape in emergencies if we needed to. So the house was just buried in snow, and we had to dig down and dig around the windows and the doorways to get sunlight in, get in and out in emergencies. I do remember one winter where we got up in the morning and I couldn't open any of my doors. They all swung out and they were all snowed in. So what I did is I think I climbed out one of the windows. I remember coming out here to the barn, but I don't think I even got out through the barn because the doors at that time were on the outside of the barn and had to slide through the snow. So I don't think I could even get out through the barn. I think I climbed out through a window, opened up the window and shoveled. I think I came out here, now that I'm thinking about it, came out here and got a shovel and then went back into the house, opened up a window and shoveled the snow out from the window. Then I climbed out through the window and then went around and shoveled out the doors so we could get in and out. Haven't had that situation in a number of years. There were years where my son snowboarded off the back roof of the house because the snow was piled right up to to the roof. So he'd come down, there was probably a foot or two of snow on the roof, and he slid down, or snowboarded down the roof, and then down the snow into the yard. I remember the blizzard of 1978, quite a bit of snow then, and I worked about a mile from home at the time, and the roads were shut down. There were cars all over the place, and the crews had to get out and plow the roads, so the roads were shut down. And we had a few feet of heavy wet snow on top of the roof where I worked. So I got a call, I think it was the next morning after the storm, got a call from my supervisor at work. He said, "Hey, come on in, we've got to shovel the roof off so it doesn't collapse." And I said, "Well, I can't come in, the roads are shut down. How am I going to get in there? I can't come in." And he said, "You're a mile from work. You can walk here. Now get in here." So I had to go in and shovel off the roof. But that was quite a storm. And that's one of the last blizzards true blizzards that we had, and that was in 1978. I think we had another one in 1983 that was nearly as bad. But we just haven't had those kind of winters lately. We've been having winters, like I said, where we had 170 inches, but it's just a lot of snow. No blizzards, just a lot of snow, heavy snow. We have had 2, 3, close to 4 foot snowfalls at a time, but not the blizzards. That's a different story. And I see people posting videos and pictures, and they're talking about their blizzard. Well, it's not really a blizzard. Technically, it's not a blizzard. They might have had quite a bit of snow, 12 inches of snow, but it's not a blizzard. The blizzard, you gotta have, I forget what the speed of the wind is, but you have to have the wind and a certain amount of snow. So there's criteria that has to be met to be a true blizzard. And we just, at least around here, we haven't had that kind of blizzard in years. So when I see these people say, "Oh, we had a blizzard," no, not really. And if you think that's a blizzard, you don't know what a blizzard is. Kind of got rambling there, but we had a winter back around 2007, 2008, where our road crew, and I don't know what it is now, but at the time they had a 3-man road crew, and they could normally keep up with the when they're out plowing the roads during a snowstorm. They could pretty much keep up with it. But this winter, about 15 years ago, we had so much snow that they were constantly plowing. It was like every day we had snow. And one of the guys was out, I think he had a bad knee, so it was just the 2 guys, and they just couldn't keep up with the snow. So guys with residents of the town with plow trucks were out plowing the roads. As they were driving around, they just plowed the road to open it up a little bit. And our road out here was narrowed down to about a lane, maybe a fairly like a lane and a half wide width. So if 2 cars were coming in opposite directions, one had to back up and find a place to pull over, or pull up onto the windrow, up onto the snowbank, and the other car would do the same thing, and we'd go by each other that way. The roads were really narrow, and the windrows were probably 10, 12 feet high. They were up there. So we haven't had those kind of winters in quite a while. Probably because I bought the tractor, and similar thing happened years ago. Back when we had that blizzard in '78, I bought a truck with a plow. I think I had the it's a 1968 International Scout with a Fisher plow on it, and we had a couple of mild winters. So I sold the truck, bought a car, and then that following winter is when we had heavy snow, had that blizzard, and boy, I could have made some money that winter with that plow. I could have been out plowing for the towns and the state and could have made a lot of money. So I lost out that year. And then the following winter, I bought another truck with a plow, and of course, it didn't snow as much. So I gave up on that idea of trying to make money with a snow plow. But well, I did have that. No, I had that the year after that blizzard. I bought a 1974 Dodge Power Wagon with a Fisher plow. Had that for a few years, and I made some money on that at night. I was working full-time in a machine shop, and would go out at night, do some plowing, make some extra money. And remember this one night, I had gone out, plowed out my customer, and I was driving down the road going to the next customer, and there was a little old lady. This is about 2 in the morning. There's a little old lady out shoveling her driveway, and the snow's about that deep, you know, like knee deep, and she's out there all bent over. She had to be in her 80s, and she's out there shoveling the snow. So I thought, well, I can't let this woman, I can't drive by this woman and not plow her out. She'll have a heart attack or something and topple over in the snow, and nobody will see her till springtime. So I stopped, I rolled down my window, and I said, would you like me to plow that for you? She was kind of hunched over, shoveling, and she stopped, and she straightened up, leaned on her shovel, and I thought she would say, oh, that's so nice of you, young man, yeah, please, thank you. And she leaned up and she said, well, is it gonna cost me anything? And I said, no, just get out of the way and I'll plow you out. And it was only like 5 minutes worth of plowing, so I did it for free. I just didn't want to see her get hurt. Remember a winter driving to my in-laws in Pennsylvania. It was a Christmas party they were having, family reunion they were having. I don't remember what I had for a vehicle at the time, but I had a vehicle set up for the winter, snow tires on. I can't remember if it was a four-wheel drive truck or just a sedan or what it was, but I had my car for the winter, but it broke down. So I pulled my Dodge Challenger, 1970 Dodge Challenger convertible, out of storage, no snow tires on it, drove all the way from here to, oh, where were they? Near Allentown, Pennsylvania, I think, or Allentown, Pennsylvania. Long drive in a heavy snowstorm. And boy, that was nerve-wracking. Trying to drive all that way with no snow tires and a light car, convertible top, so there wasn't much heat in it. And we had our son and I think our niece, maybe, in the back seat. And that car it didn't have good heat to begin with, and then with the convertible top, it just kind of blew right out. So it was a cold ride and risky, strenuous or stressful ride all the way to Pennsylvania. And then we drove down, I forget the route numbers. I think it might be Route 220. I think it starts now this is 45 years ago, so I forget now. I think it was Route 220. I think it started in Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania, and then headed out towards Allentown or out that way. And at the time, it was known as the Ho Chi Minh Trail because there were so many deaths on that road. And here we are driving it in a snowstorm with no snow tires in my Dodge Challenger. So that was an exciting, thrilling ride. And we got to the house safe and sound, but boy, I was stressed out afterward. I even had to go outside and got a little upset stomach. Went outside to relieve myself of my upset stomach just from that ride. So, all right, so let's do this. so as I said, it's sticker time. So thanks for watching. This is my very first sticker time. We'll put a couple of stickers on the board behind me. So I'll do 2 today. As I mentioned, I've got quite a few more here. There's 4 or 5 more, maybe 6 more. So I'll get through these over the next few videos. I'm way behind on my videos and my stickers. I've had these stickers, some of these, for about almost a month now. And they've been coming in since then. But I've been busy with, if you've seen some of my prior videos, I've been busy with some flooding on my property. Found out what the problem is, what's causing it, which is a ditch that was dug on the next parcel up the hill. So I'm going to talk to the new neighbor there and see if they'll correct it on their property. So what happened was, there was somebody that bought that land a little over a year ago. And I think they had this ditch dug and a culvert put in, and it comes right to my property line and dumps on my property, comes down the hill and runs across my yard and through my barn and through my enclosed breezeway porch and under my house and into my, because I've got a section of my house on a crawl space, and then into the cellar hole. And so it's flooding me out every time it rains now. So that was done with the prior owner, and the new owners, I met them and they seem very friendly. You know, I'm hoping they're cooperative, and they'll divert that ditch down to the brook that runs behind, runs through their property and through mine, but behind my house. See if they'll run that ditch into the brook and save me all the flooding issues. I think that's going to be the easiest solution for everybody. So anyway, that's why I'm behind on all my videos. So let's start with this first sticker, and I've had this one for about 2 years now, or maybe 3 years. And this is from Whiskey and Sunshine Off Grid. Shelly and Scott, they live in Maine. Their channel name now is, instead of Whiskey and Sunshine Off Grid, I'll bring this in closer for you. It's now Off Grid Whiskey and Sunshine. So, Scott and Shelly are in Maine, our neighboring state, and they are truly off-grid. They get their electricity from solar panels on their property. They heat their house from by a wood stove. So they're truly off-grid. Some of their videos are related to the off-grid living, so they offer advice and tips and demonstration videos on how to live off-grid. Very interesting videos, and off-grid living certainly has its benefits, but has its problems too. So great videos on their channel. They also have some homesteading videos, gardening, and their chickens, and they do have a Kubota L2501, I believe it is. They use that mainly for clearing their dooryard, their driveway in the wintertime. So some nice videos with the tractor, and they offer some great tips too on tractor maintenance. So great channel. I'll put a link to their channel in the description of this video, so please go check them out. So second sticker is from Orange is My New Green. Just got this year. It's from Luke and Kathleen at Orange is My New Green. Card says, "Hi Rick, thanks my friend for supporting my channel. We wish you and your family a very Merry Christmas and all the best in 2024. So this is one of the cards that I got probably a few weeks ago. It's amazing how long it's taken to get cards. I sent cards out back on December 16th, and some of those cards weren't received until I think late January, so 4 to 5 weeks later. Now they are going between New Hampshire, the US, and into Canada, so some of these went to Nova Scotia, but I think I could have walked some of these Christmas cards and stickers to the recipients faster than they were delivered. So it's going over Canadian border, but it's still, 4 to 5 weeks is still a long time. So anyway, we have Orange is My New Green. That's Luke's channel. Now this is a really slick sticker. And I don't know if you can see it good now, but I'll zoom in later. But it's kind of dark here too. So I'll zoom in later, but you can see in the headlights of the tractor here, you can see Luke's tractor on this side and on this side as well. Really slick sticker. So I'll post these on my sticker board, and I'll bring you in closer for a better look. So Luke's channel, he's got a Kubota BX 2380, I believe. He's got a beautiful property, and he's doing a lot of projects on the property. He built retaining walls, redid some skirting around a 3-season room off the back of his house. Great carpentry skills that he's demonstrating. So he's done the skirting, retaining walls. He's done some trails on his property. Oh, and he also has made maple syrup in the past. So anybody that makes maple syrup has to be a great guy. So I just watched, I think it was his last maple syrup video. I can't remember if that was last year or a couple of years ago, but I watched his last maple syrup video just the other day. So fantastic channel. Again, I'll put a link to Luke's channel, Orange is My New Green, down in the description of this video. So let's put these stickers on the sticker board. All right, so since Shelly and Scott at Off-Grid Whiskey and Sunshine have waited the longest, I'm going to put their sticker up first. So I think what I'll do is I'll put it right up here in the left-hand corner. I think it'll fit best there. There we go. Whiskey and Sunshine, Off-Grid, now Off-Grid Whiskey and Sunshine. So there's their sticker. And then Orange is My New Green. I think he's going to fit really well. Maybe right there. I think that's going to fit right in there perfectly. And then maybe down here. There's a little more room for error. This would be really tight. I think I'll put him right there, right below this guy. I'm not too sure about this guy, so, but unfortunately, Luke, you're gonna have to go right below this guy here. I think right about there should do it. There. All right, so there's Off-Grid Whiskey and Sunshine and Orange is My New Green. I'm trying to move this camera with the tripod still attached, but if you can see right there, you can see the tractors in the headlights of the tractor there, and of course the Canadian maple leaf right there. So, two great channels. Go check them out. Fantastic channels with fantastic content. All right, so we'll get to these other stickers in the upcoming videos. There was another thing I wanted to cover today. I don't want to go in depth, but I think what I'll do first is I'm going to give you a quick look around the, at least the temporary or partially finished workshop that I have here right now. As some of you know, I restored this barn almost 4 years ago now. It was in 2020. So we started the restoration in April of 2020 and finished it, well, kind of finished the main stuff in December of 2020. The final thing in December was I got the doors up to the front and rear entrance. And I got those up just days before we got a 41-inch snowfall. I've got this little workshop partially finished. I still need to put up some walls to enclose it, because what I want to do is have some heat in here. So I've got, I can't really see it, but I've got this little heater here. I'll turn this so you can see it. So I've had that heater for a little over a year now. A little propane heater. Does a good job. Now obviously it's not really going to heat anything up here because this is wide open. But if I had some walls up, I think it would give me enough heat to make it comfortable. Propane heater works really well, and I bought it at one of the big box stores. I think it was the blue big box store. And there's not even a name on it. I didn't even realize that until I looked at it a few minutes ago. And I don't see a brand name on it, but it works well. Very simple to ignite. There's just a little automatic igniter on there. You flip a little, well, move a little dial, and it lights up. There's an igniter in there that fires it up. So fantastic propane heater. That should help when I get this enclosed. So let me show you around the shop a little bit here, show you what I've done and what I want to do. So this is a far cry from what was here before the restoration. So I might have a video of this corner, video or still photo of this corner, what it looked like when we started the restoration. This whole barn was collapsing. All of the joints, it's all timber frame. Mortise and tenon joints, and they had all separated. The whole barn was leaning about 18 inches that way. The only thing holding it up was a bunch of braces. You can see we still left a couple of the braces here, but this was just all loaded with braces, 2x8s and 2x6s to hold the barn up. So this whole corner here was rotted out real bad, and this is what it looks like now. So what I did is these boards here that you see on the wall horizontally, these are all part of a couple of doors that I had. The doors were going to be used back there for the back door. So you can see these doors here, these are off another barn. So I used those doors from the other barn on this barn here for my front door. I was going to use the other door that came off that barn from the other barn back here, but it was too far gone. The doors were too far gone. The nails were loose. The whole thing was falling apart. So it would have taken more effort and more money probably to rebuild that door than to just build a new door here. So I built that door. I took this door apart and just kept the boards. And I used those boards on the wall here. So the wall's kind of hidden by all the junk in the way here. So I put some insulation up inside the wall there in the cavities, and then I put the boards over it. So I've got insulation there. And let's go over some of the things here while I'm looking this way. So that Pabst Blue Ribbon sign right there, that is from my grandparents' diner from the late 40s and early 50s. That was around the house when I was a kid. It was my father's parents, and when he closed down the restaurant, the diner, he kept some things. He kept that. This old ripped up, beat up chair is from the diner. There's a table up in the loft from the diner, and I think I have one other item here somewhere. But that is an old Pabst Blue Ribbon sign, and it still lights up. So let's see. Still lights up. Pretty cool. And then I bought these two signs. So I spend a lot of my time doing that right there. And this is certainly true. This is where things get done eventually. And some of these things that I do, it might take a few years to get them done, but I get them done. So I've got these shelving units here temporarily. Again, another thing that I'll get to eventually, it'll get done eventually, is I'm going to put up a wall here, wooden wall. Because originally this area was the stalls for the animals. Now, I know at one time, so there's 12 acres here, and this was all being farmed for hay at one time. And I don't know if it was farmed for anything else besides that or before that, but these were the stalls here for the animals. So what I want to do is put up a wall here and make it look like stall doors. So I'll have an opening right here. Either leave it open completely or have a door that'll swing open so we can walk through. This area here, I still got to get this cleaned out. That ATV needs work. But anyway, I got to clean this all out. That's going to be set up for probably for my wife to do things in. And then I'll have same thing over here. I'll have some wall up here that looks like stall doors. And then right here, I'll put in another door that I can close. And that way I can work in here in the winter time and stay warm. Now, one thing that's holding all this up is I'm trying to decide what to do with this concrete floor. And what I might do is put down another layer of concrete. I'm going to do one of two things. Either put down another layer of concrete and have it molded to look like wooden boards, because this barn originally had a wooden floor in it. And I'd like to get that look back. So I'll either do concrete in here that's molded and painted to look like wooden boards, floorboards, or I'll just put in another wooden floor. So that's one reason why I'm holding up on this wall. I want to decide what to do. But the main reason is just because I've got so many other projects going, like drainage work and different things, that I'm kind of taking them in order of priority. All right, folks. Well, I appreciate everybody stopping by. And I've gotten a lot of new subscribers lately. I really appreciate that. Thank you very much. But with Noel's recent video on snow stories, I really wanted to do something along those lines. So the winters certainly have been milder, especially the last few years. Whether it's going to stay that way or turn back, who knows? But we're getting far less snow than we used to, and the weather just isn't as cold. So I can remember some very cold days back in the 60s when I was a kid. And even recently, as recent as 15 to 20 years ago, having temperatures minus 20, minus 40 Fahrenheit. So minus 40 is the same Fahrenheit or Celsius. I can't remember what the minus 20 translates into in Celsius, but we don't get too many of those days either. I think last year we had some days down around minus 15, but it was short-lived. I do remember winter about 20 years ago where it was getting down to minus 30, minus 40 every day. And I was running a crew, doing appraisal work, real estate appraisal work, running a crew, large crew. And I wouldn't let the crew out until it got up to minus 20. So, haven't had that in quite a while. And back then, doing that real estate appraisal work, we had so much snow that we had a snowshoe around the properties. I don't even have a pair of snowshoes now. My last pair snapped probably, I don't know, 8 or 10 years ago, and the snow just isn't even deep enough to worry about. So I haven't even replaced those snowshoes. So anyway, thanks again, folks. I appreciate everybody stopping by, and enjoy your Sunday. Thanks again.